Stop using church intimidation, control and manipulation. Jezebel and all them spirits fall back, not trying to hear it. Go with Jesus, walk in peace. On your pew can sit that beast that we're fighting in the world. I'm that JC Supergirl, Jesus Christ, belt of truth, arm of God, I'm slaying you. Power of the word, two-edged sword. MC Heaven rocks for her Lord. Thought they crept in unaware, didn't see the gatekeeper standing right there. Not getting down with your tactics, undoctrinal practice.
Hey everybody, Shalom and blessings. Welcome again to the Crystal Jones Show. It's the show that's all about life's balance. Thank you all for tuning in. I'm your talk show host, Crystal Jones. We appreciate your support. Just wanted to give you my contact information. First of all, you can reach me at the Crystal Jones Show. Also, my show has a new weekly air daytime and channel. I'll now be coming on Saturdays, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. on BronxNet.tv, channel 951 and 237, the Inspire channel. So you could see me on channel 951, which would be Optimum, and 2137, which is Fios. But I'll be moving to Saturdays instead from 7 to 8 p.m. All right, so let me give you my contact information on Facebook and YouTube. You can go to the Crystal Jones TV show. Make sure you go there. The one that the TV show one, not my personal page, the TV show page, please. Go to that site on Facebook as well as YouTube. I upload all of the latest shows, so you'll be the first one to see the shows before they even come on BronxNet TV. All right, so please do that. Also, you can check me out on Instagram at the Crystal Jones Show, and also you can write to me at the Crystal Jones Show at gmail.com. All right, so let's get into today's news, the news for today. All right, now this week there's been a lot of talk about Tulsa, Oklahoma, which I've always for the past couple of weeks been talking about it. And a lot of our people are being given this tunnel vision that because they call that area Black Wall Street, that we don't have any other growing and thriving communities amongst Black people. And I've been showing you for weeks the different wealthy neighborhoods in the DMV area, which is Delaware, Maryland, Virginia. I've showed you the videos on that. Also, North Carolina has a lot of Black wealthy neighborhoods. And also we have Texas that has a lot of Black wealthy neighborhoods. So what I want to share with you is in the news, I want to share with you about a article that tells you about this whole cover up about Black Wall Street. Now, it was shattered about 100 years ago now. The Tulsa Race Massacre was covered up, but finally unearthed, right? So in this article, it says, a century ago this week, the wealthiest U.S. Black community was burned to the ground. At the turn of the 20th century, the Greenwood district of Tulsa, Oklahoma, became one of the first communities in the country thriving with Black entrepreneurial businesses. So as much as we're looked upon as we're this lazy group of people that don't do anything for ourselves, that don't know anything, that I keep telling you all of that's a lie, right? The prosperous town, founded by many descendants of slaves, earned reputation as the Black Wall Street of America and became a harbor of African Americans in a highly segregated city under Jim Crow laws, right? So on May the 31st, 1921, a white mob turned Greenwood upside down in one of the worst racial massacres in U.S. history. In the matter of hours, 35 square blocks of the vibrant Black community were turned into smoldering ashes. Countless Black people were killed. Estimates range from 55 to more than 300 and up to 1,000 homes and businesses were looted and set on fire, right? Yet for the longest time, the massacre received scant mentions in newspapers, textbooks, and civil and governmental conversations. It wasn't until 2000 that the slaughter was included in the Oklahoma public schools curriculum, and it did not enter American history textbook until recent years. The 1921 Tulsa Race Riot Commission was formed to investigate in 1997 and officially released a report in 2001. It took these people this long to even recognize or be honest about the fact that this happened, right? The massacre was actively covered up in the white community in Tulsa for nearly half a century. So where were these white Christians, right? And okay, now a professor of Afro-American and African studies at the University of Michigan and author of the groundbreaking. She talked about this with the Tulsa massacre. All right. So now that this week they finally are saying this on TV, these different officials and things like that. Now what? Now what? What happens to all this land that was burned up and all of this crap? And these people were allowed to do this. Why? Because of white privilege. And this is what's the problem here has been and always will be in this country from the inception of what they call themselves finding this country that was already here, right? It was already here. The tribe of Gad, I believe, or Dan was already here. The Indians, yes, they are one of the 12 tribes of Israel. Okay, so they just totally, even recently, one of the officials just said, "Oh yeah, we found this place and we built it up." And they mentioned the indigenous people, they didn't contribute anything. Just, in this day and time. So now that they are here talking about it, now what? Where's the money for this crap that went down? These people did it, they claim, because somebody told them that a black man was flirting with some white woman. Don't men always flirt with women? Whether, I don't care what culture they are. This gave them a reason to burn down a whole community. That's a hatred that's so deep, I can't even begin to describe the ridiculousness of it. And then these are people that most of those people that burnt it down are supposed to be Christian. So where's Christ in that? All right. And now that they're finally admitting to it and talking about it, what happens now? Just the same thing about the reparations with our forefathers having built this country. Even though they're talking about how they did this, they did that. No, it was our people that designed Washington, D.C. Okay. Benjamin Banneker he did the whole, schematics for the Capitol and all of that. Right. But when it comes to reparations for our people, they don't seem to want to do anything. It's just always, oh, well, yeah, we're going to table that. We're going to talk about it. And then we'll see. Because if we paid black people back, we wouldn't have enough money. You don't have any money now. You don't have any money now. They're just pulling money out of the air. Okay. All of this so-called money that they're giving, I don't know where they're getting it from, whatever, but they owe other countries so much money that they're really not even in power anymore or in control. It's just a matter of time before this country is not going to be, it's probably going to be named something else. Okay. So it's like, so you've paid other people and other countries, you keep paying them all this money, billions of dollars and things like that every year. But when it comes to us who did the labor, with the slavery, the crops and all of that kind of stuff, and we never got the 40 acres and a mule and all that garbage. So why should I be impressed that y'all are sitting finally sitting and talking and admitting to this, because the next thing we know is going to be, well, it wasn't us, it was our forefathers. Yeah, but um you're living off of that wealth, that generational wealth, and our people are still, even though we've progressed past it, thank God we made it past that, but we still have a large majority of our people that are still in poverty and that type of thing, because you refuse to have good schools that will, where they're learning at grade level or anything like that. So I'm not impressed at all by them, finally admitting it. You have to admit it now, because I'm gonna tell you something, God is bringing you to the wall now. You can't hide anymore from what you did to our people, and it's going to affect you down through your generations. You're not going to get away from it. It's going to come back on you. So it pays to do right, is what I'm saying. What happened to doing right? Where was your Christianity then? Or are you hiding behind so-called Christianity as you would like for Christianity to be? Where were you when y'all burnt down our whole community? But thanks be unto God that now we have more communities. So I want to encourage Black people. We have to continue to thrive and do the things that we've been doing, because before we even got to this country, we were in another continent, we were successful and all of that. So I want to encourage our people, but also to face white America that continues to play it off like, oh, well, we didn't do nothing to y'all. Oh, well, this, that, or other. Oh, well, but yet they continue to try to play these games with us. We're not going for the games anymore. What are you going to do about it? Okay. What are you going to do? You acknowledged it. And so now what? Right. Okay. So what we're going to do, we're going to continue on our journey of wealthy neighborhoods in Texas, as well as I've been telling you all, we got to get into farming. You see people buying up all this land and stuff like that. Oh, yeah, there's a place. You better believe we better make sure we in on that, so that we can grow our own food and all of that type of thing. Okay. So we're going to be seeing two videos. Okay. One is going to be with the Texas up and thriving Black communities there, as well as farming video. Take a look.
Number 6, zip code 77053 in Houston, Texas. Fort Bend County. Houston is the most populous city in the state of Texas and the fourth most populous city in the United States, with an estimated 2018 population of 2.3 million people. Located in southeast Texas near Galveston Bay and the Gulf of Mexico, Houston is luring thousands of residents from around the globe, drawn by its mix of cultural amenities, world-class restaurants, diverse communities, and a low cost of living. Houston also offers an extraordinary large number of choices when it comes to housing, from trendy downtown lofts to family-friendly suburban enclaves, and near-town bungalows to master-planned communities. Zip code 77053 in Houston has an African American population of over 16,000, which represents 50% of the zip code's total population. It has access to Houston's wide array of arts and cultural institutions, cultural festivals and parades, four major league sports teams, and over 10,000 restaurants and dining establishments, representing a multitude of cuisines. High on the list of things that make living in zip code 77053 appealing is the city and county parks, along with state and federal recreation spots. Zip code 77053 has a niche.com rating of a B due to its great diversity, cost of living, and job opportunities. The graduation rate for high school students living in zip code 77053 is 68%. The school system that serves this zip code has a ratio of 17 students per teacher. The economy of Houston, Texas employs 1.15 million people. The three highest paid jobs held by residents of Houston, Texas by median earnings are 1, architecture and engineering occupations, 2, legal occupations, and 3. Computer, engineering, and science occupations. Number 5. Zip code 75146 in Lancaster, Texas, Dallas County. Lancaster is a suburban community located in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, approximately 15 miles south of downtown Dallas. Lancaster is part of the Best Southwest area and is positioned within Southwest Dallas County. The scenery here includes beautiful hills, sprawling creeks, and trees. Lancaster's impressive nature views is part of the reason that it's nicknamed the City of Trees. But it also has access to 3 interstates and the Lancaster Regional Airport. Zip code 75146 in Lancaster has an African American population of almost 14,000, which represents 72% of the zip code's total population. Residents enjoy a small town atmosphere where you can raise a family with good schools and a variety of shopping. It is a dynamic community with affordable housing and an excellent quality of life. The area has a strong presence of small business, a reputable school system, and an environment that fosters development and growth of the youth. Zip code 75146 has a niche.com rating of a B due to its great diversity, family environment, and cost of living. The graduation rate for high school students living in zip code 75146 is 87%. The school system that serves this zip code has a ratio of 19 students per teacher. The economy of Lancaster, Texas employs 18,375 people. The 3 highest paid jobs held by residents of Lancaster, Texas by median earnings are 1. Health diagnosing and treating practitioners, 2. Computer occupations, and 3. Community and social service occupations. Number 4. Zip code 75104 in Cedar Hill, Texas, Dallas County. Cedar Hill is a suburb of Dallas and is part of the Best Southwest area. It is located approximately 16 miles southwest of downtown Dallas and is situated along the eastern shore of Joe Pool Lake in Cedar Hill State Park. From the green acres of Cedar Hill State Park to a historic downtown filled with shops, Cedar Hill, Texas creates the right balance between city streets and open spaces. Known as the Hill Country of the Metroplex, Cedar Hill has 22 parks and 4 green belts, while residents enjoy the proximity to the expansive Joe Pool Lake. Zip code 75104 in Cedar Hill has an African American population of over 27,000, which represents 54% of the zip code's total population. This community enjoys lower housing costs, boasts of quality school districts, hosts a plethora of dining options, and offers a slew of recreational opportunities. Zip code 75104 has a niche.com rating of a B+ due to its great diversity, family environment, and career opportunities. The graduation rate for high school students living in zip code 75104 is an impressive 92%. The school system that serves the zip code has a ratio of 17 students per teacher. The economy of Cedar Hill, Texas employs 23,975 people. The 3 highest paid jobs held by residents of Cedar Hill, Texas by median earnings are 1. Architecture and engineering occupations, 2. Health diagnosing and treating practitioners, and 3. Computer, engineering, and science occupations. Number 3. Zip code 77545 in Fresno, Texas, Fort Bend County. The city of Fresno is a small city with big opportunities. It is a small city located in the extraterritorial jurisdiction of Houston. Perfectly situated between Pearland and Missouri City, Fresno offers its residents a more rural feel. There are plenty of grocery stores and shopping areas, and the choices for dining are limitless. The parks located in Fresno make it welcome for family and visitors who want to get outside and enjoy the great outdoors. Zip code 77545 in Fresno has an African American population of almost 16,000, which represents 62% of the zip code's total population. The neighbors are friendly and citizens are very proactive in community involvement. Crime is very low and the neighborhoods are quiet and peaceful. Zip code 77545 has a niche.com rating of an A- due to its excellent diversity, family environment, and job opportunities. The graduation rate for high school students living in zip code 77545 is 84%. The school system that serves this zip code has a ratio of 17 students per teacher. The economy of Fresno, Texas employs 11,700 people. The three highest paid jobs held by residents of Fresno, Texas by median earnings are 1. Legal occupations, 2. Computer occupations, and 3. Management occupations. Number 2. Zip code 77489 in Missouri City, Texas, Fort Bend County. Missouri City is within the Houston, The Woodlands, Sugar Land metropolitan area and is not too far from downtown Houston. Missouri City is very community driven, so it has that small town feel. It hosts excellent schools and offers a great environment for families and those with kids. Zip code 77489 in Missouri City has an African American population of almost 31,000, which represents 82% of the zip code's total population. It is a safe, peaceful city with lots of things to do. There are parks, recreational centers, nice restaurants, shopping centers, and friendly neighborhoods. This community is ideal for those who work in the inner loop area, but would like the ease of living in a nice suburban town. Close to many major freeways, the Port of Houston, and just a short drive from Hobby Airport, living in Missouri City is a great place to work, raise a family, and experience a great quality of life. Zip code 77489 has a niche.com rating of a B+ due to its great diversity, career opportunities, and family atmosphere. The graduation rate for high school students living in zip code 77489 is 89%. The school system that serves this zip code has a ratio of 16 students per teacher. The economy of Missouri City, Texas employs 37,308 people. The three highest paid jobs held by residents of Missouri City, Texas by median earnings are 1. Architecture and engineering occupations, 2. Life, physical, and social science occupations, and 3. Computer engineering and science occupations. Number 1. Zip code 75115 in DeSoto, Texas, Dallas County. And to top off our list of the top 10 richest zip codes in Texas is 75115. DeSoto is an all-America city that is a suburb of Dallas, where downtown is only a few minutes away. DeSoto is part of the best Southwest area. It is a very warm city with a welcoming spirit and heavy community involvement. This Dallas suburb is a growing family-oriented community with tons of potential. Zip code 75115 in DeSoto has an African American population of almost 47,000, which represents 88% of the zip code's total population. It is a small community that has a wonderful collection of neighborhoods that provides a high quality of living for individuals and families wanting suburban living, but remain within reach of the big city. The area features a vast park and open space system, highlighted by a popular Roy Orr Trail. The neighborhood also has a thriving cultural arts program with multiple activities and entertainment for residents of all ages. Zip code 75115 has a niche.com rating of a B due to its great diversity, health and fitness, and job opportunities. The graduation rate for high school students living in zip code 75115 is an impressive 88%. The school system that serves this zip code has a ratio of 16 students per teacher. The economy of DeSoto, Texas employs 26.1K people. The three highest paid jobs held by residents of DeSoto, Texas by median earnings are 1. Life, physical, and social science occupations, 2. Computer occupations, and 3. Engineering and science occupations.
We appreciate the fact that you stayed with us.
Right. So you see, we have thriving Black communities. I live in one myself, and I'm telling you, this is what we need to do. Get back to our own communities. The next thing I'm going to show you is the farming video. This is something we need to take seriously and incorporate this into our neighborhoods. Let's take a look.
Minnesota has a vibrant agricultural community, but some people have been left off the farm.
In tonight's Voices for Change, Maury Glover explores the renewed effort by some African Americans to go into farming and become stewards of their land.
So this area over here is what's remaining of like our brassicas. So this is like kale, and this is the Tuscany kale. And then over here you have some of the cabbages.
The growing season may be over for Lakeisha Witter.
You can see this is some of the radishes here. So you can kind of see.
But some of her ideas are beginning to take root.
I think we put a lot of emphasis on being the next NBA player, the next football, but farming is a thing too. It's a big thing, you know? It's like the future of the world that we live in.
Even though she has no formal training and no one in her family is involved in farming, the Bethel University professor bought this 5-acre farm in Oak Grove about 3 years ago, both to live a healthier lifestyle and to learn more about the food she puts in her body.
I just remember growing up as a little kid, my punishment was growing up was to go outside because I was a reader. I didn't like going outside. I didn't want to get dirty. So I never thought in a million years that I would be loving the outside.
On her farm, named Live Organically, Witter grows more than 60 different crops.
Zucchini, squash, peppers, I mean, you name it, we pretty much grow it.
But as a black female farmer, plowing new ground has yielded a bounty of interesting reactions.
So I've been at the markets before. I've talked to people and they look at me like, you don't look like a farmer. And you know, and I have to dig deeper and say, well, what does a farmer look like? So I use these moments as moments to re-educate them, to let them know that the way that you maybe have experienced farming or thought of farming, you know, being predominantly male or white is changing. There's more people, you know, that are coming into it, and it's okay if I look different.
According to the United States Department of Agriculture, less than 2% of all farms in the country are owned or operated by African Americans. Here in Minnesota, that number is just 0.03%. In fact, the latest census of agriculture found only 39 black farmers out of more than 68,000 in the entire state.
In essence, agriculture is still very white in Minnesota. I'm surprised that the number is so low, you know, but, you know, the whole point is to be able to increase the number.
In a recent report on emerging farmers in Minnesota, the State Department of Agriculture found access to land and the financing to buy it are the biggest barriers for people of color to get into farming. And since there are fewer farmers of color, there are also fewer opportunities for family farms to be handed down from one generation to the next, like their white counterparts.
Discrimination is rampant, right? You know, whether it's predatory lending when it comes to, you know, loans or denial of those loans. You know, there's always discrimination in terms of ethnicity. We have a lot of work to do, but, you know, there's no time like the present. And I think of different, you know, about our most brightest scientists like George Washington Carver will be really proud to be able to see how there's more emerging farmers, regardless of color, that are taking more interest into the land and being more and being protective of the land.
I'm so mad that I didn't grow radishes.
Lizzie Bryant may be helping her friend tend a plot in St. Paul's Frogtown Farms, but she has plans to own her own farm one day.
It just has become increasingly important and apparent to me that we need to shift our relationship to the land. And our relationship to our food systems. She started a crowdfunding campaign called Grow a Young Black Farmer in Minnesota that has raised more than $80,000 of its $365,000 goal. She wants to buy her aunt's 25-acre farm in southern Minnesota to operate as both a goat cheese dairy and a rural gathering space for black Minnesotans. To come and be nurtured and nourished, and to just be without fear or threat of violence. In a beautiful natural landscape, I feel, is an important and inherently healing and nourishing thing. This is where some of the beans were for last year, so we had beans and we had corn. Witter says planting the seeds to produce more farmers of color is an idea that's time has come. And by doing so, she believes Minnesota can put its own harvest of shame out to pasture. I feel like with the midst of everything and all of the changes that's going on in the world, why not shake up farming? Let's not shake up the farming industry. Let's not shake up agriculture. This is the perfect time to do it. For Voices for Change, Maury Glover, Fox 9 News.
The State Ag Department offers a microloan program to help non-traditional farmers buy equipment and other assets. It also operates a directory of farmers with no heirs interested in selling or renting their land to a beginning farmer. The agency also recently created an Emerging Farmers Working Group. Its goal is to make it easier for beginning farmers from underserved groups to create an agricultural business.
Okay, so now I've shown you several things that we need to be focused on is, with building our communities, getting our own everything. Like I said, here we have peace officers as well as our own police stations, so that if anything goes down, the first people you're going to see is peace first, so that you can get things, settled instead of being shot at and beat down for no reason at all. Or the worst scenario, which I've seen today, where, they had some black men that were stopped because they were in a neighborhood that they felt that there was high crime. So they felt the need to just stop them and grope them, feeling all in their clothes and their private parts and stuff like that in the middle of the street, having them pull down their pants and in the middle of the street. They just feel they have the privilege and ability to just disgrace us. And this is the same nonsense that went on during slavery. Buck breaking. I've explained to you what that was. Buck breaking was they felt like they had to disgrace the black man. So they would announce in their churches that they was going to have pick a N-word day. These are Christians, so-called Christian people, not the Christians that are in the Bible, because we were first called Israelites. You know that. We're the children of Israel. So, we were first called Christians in Antioch in the Bible. And that Christianity had nothing to do with this type of Christianity that we see going on with all of this crazy stuff, right? So that's the same thing that the people that were doing this crazy type of Christianity had what they call buck breaking. They would announce it in their churches. We're going to have pick an N-word day, and what they would do is they would pick a couple of black men to humiliate in the town square. They would make them come together and have sex together. They would make them have sex with their mothers, all kind of just weird, freaky, crazy stuff that they would do. So I'm seeing this practice. Seems like everything with people that want to rule or dominate you, they have to do something weird, some weird sexual type of things. So when I saw the video today, I said, that's the same nonsense of their own made up Christianity that they feel is right, on the rise again. So you're going to be seeing a whole lot of crazy stuff going, now that we're in this situation where they're talking about, well, they're going to, allow people to do this or that or the other. Okay. So in the midst of all of that, you're seeing stuff be chaotic. You're seeing people roam the streets, even downtown New York City. I'm seeing people sometimes walking with half their clothes on and stuff like that. It's just getting worse. And those are the things that Christ said would happen. Also, it tells you that in the book of 2nd Ezra. This is why they hid the lost books, because the lost books tell you in detail what's going to be going on and all of that, the weather, the whole thing. All of that stuff is definitely prophetic that these things would happen. Look at it. We're in June. When in June, should it be 40 degrees outside, right? But with all of the things that they're doing to the atmosphere and all of that kind of crap, that's what it's going to be like. Like I said, again, Christ said you won't even know what season it's going to be. You don't know. In June, it should be like 70 degrees at least, right? No, you're not going to know what the weather is going to be. Stock up on your food, like I've been saying to y'all. Get your pantry together and all of that kind of stuff, because with the gas prices and all of that kind of stuff, believe me, stuff is going to go down with the food and all of that kind of stuff. When your neighborhood has, for you to come and get the food and stuff like that. Stock up on as much food as you can. Okay. So, just wanted to share that with you. Okay. Now I'm going to go to the missing youth. Okay. We have for the missing youth today, we have sadly, if you see these young people, report this to your police department, missing and exploited children. Today, the first one that we have is Nazir Abdulaziz. Okay, he is 14 years old. He's a black male. He has his hair color is black. His eye color is brown. His height is 5'5". He's about 184 pounds. He's been missing since May the 19th of this year, 2021. If you have any information or you've seen this young man, please report this to missing and exploited children. Okay. The next one that we have on the missing and exploited children's list, we have her name is Elena Brunning. Okay. She has been missing since May 21st of this year from Albany, New York. She's 16 years old. She's a white female. Her hair color is brown. Her eyes are brown. She's about 5'3", and she weighs about 134 pounds. Missing from Albany, New York. Please, if you see this youth, please let people know. I mean, let the report this to the missing and endangered children's. Okay, so that she can be brought back to her family. And the last one I have on today's list, I believe his name is Trayvon. I'm waiting for it to pop up. Yes, Trayvon Carter. All right, he's been missing since May 18th, 2021. All right, he's now 17 years old. He's a black male. His color is, his hair color, is black. His eye color is black. He's about 5'7". His weight is about 120 pounds. If you see Trayvon Carter, please report this to missing and exploited children at your local police department. Again, what we want to do, we want to get these youth back home to their families. A lot of human trafficking is going on, and organ harvesting and all of that crazy stuff. Okay, so let's help out. If it was your family, you would want them returned back to the family. All right, now today we have spotlight on our youth. Today we have Makaila Ulmer. She's 16. She's a 16-year-old young black CEO of Me and the Bees. So we're going to look at a quick video of Makaila, and let's see what Makaila's up to.
Here at actually QVC and HSN. We stand with the Black community in the fight for racial and economic justice. Now, as a part of our small business spotlight, we're highlighting Black-owned businesses. Shopping Black-owned businesses is a great way to support the Black community. Today, we would like to highlight Makaila Ulmer. She's with Me and the Bees Lemonade. It's out of Austin, Texas. Take a look.
Hi, my name is Makaila Ulmer. I'm a 15-year-old student, bee ambassador, author, and the founder and CEO of Me and the Bees Lemonade. So Me and the Bees Lemonade has specialized in making honey-sweetened flaxseed lemonade with fun and functional flavors ever since I started selling out of a lemonade stand in Austin, Texas. After signing up in a couple entrepreneurial fairs in Texas, trying to figure out what product to create and sell, I got a cookbook from my great-granny Helen that had a flaxseed lemonade recipe in it, and I also got stung by 2 bees in 1 week, and I became so afraid of the bees after that. And so my parents, they convinced me into doing a little bit of research on them. I learned that without the bees, our food supply would collapse, which included like the fruits and veggies and even cheese on cheese pizza that I like to eat. And so I decided, what if I take my great-granny Helen's recipe, add honey, and sell that at the business fair that I just signed up for? And I can maybe donate a portion of what I made to organizations in Austin that were helping save the bees too. So now we've grown known to have 5 different flavors of lemonade, 5 different kinds of lip balms. My website is meandthebees.com. It has information on my book, Be Fearless, Dream Like a Kid. It's part memoir on starting and growing Me and the Bees, and also part business guide or business guide. Having a company with a mission and a cause is so important. And if I'm going to teach about entrepreneurship, I think having a social causes should be integrated in that too. Companies that do good can actually do good too.
All right, all of us adults in the room have decided we need to step up our life because, yes, Makaila just said it. She is 15. She is joining me right now on Skype from Texas. Hello, Makaila.
Hi, I'm so happy, and thank you so much for sharing my story and the story of other Black businesses. How are you?
Oh, I'm super great. I'm telling you everything you were just telling us about. This whole thing started from being stung by 2 bees, which, by the way, not everybody takes that experience and moves forward and becomes an author, an entrepreneur, a foundation, you know, giving back to everyone. What does it feel like right now, kind of being where you're at and being able to share this with everyone?
I'm very proud of the progress that my business has made, but I'm also really grateful to the believers and to my team, I like to call my hive, and just everyone who has supported me. Because like you said, I started this when I was 4 as a lemonade stand. So there was 10 years of getting into stores and pitching my product that came along the way to make the business where it is now.
Well, you were on Shark Tank at 9. How was that?
I call it nerve sighting.
I'm telling you. Okay, so 4 you started, 9 you were on Shark Tank, you're 15. You just had your book launch this month, right?
Yes, we just had the book launch this month. We got another round of funding in 2017 from around 10 NFL players. I'm just giving some of the, I guess, landmarks, the business milestones. I had the opportunity to introduce former President Obama at the United States of Women Conference, so that was really memorable. But I mean, the business has taken me to so many great experiences, and meeting people and sharing my story and my product is one of my favorite parts.
Well, not only, I don't know if you know this, but not only do people not take an experience like being, you know, stung by a bee and turn it into an amazing business, but you also are taking your platform to give back. And that also is something not everyone does. Tell us about your foundation.
Yes, so the foundation, the Healthy Hive Foundation, was started recently, actually in 2017, which is another way for me to make a measurable impact on the bees. So for Me and the Bees, a portion of the proceeds is given to organizations that are helping save the bees. It's honey sweetened, but I also wanted to help save the bees through the money that we are making, the profits. And so Healthy Hive is an organization where we help save the bees through research, education, and preservation.
So the website for everyone, if you want to purchase, you want to learn more about Makaila, it's meandthebees.com. That's where you go. Yes. They have an amazing HSN bundle there that you guys can purchase. Makaila, keep going. You are starting off life in such a great path. Thank you so much for sharing everything with us.
Thank you. Let me know your favorite flavor, and happy sipping.
Happy sipping. All right, everyone, also visit hsn.com to learn more about these featured small businesses and other Black-owned businesses that are a part of our HSN and QVC community. Man.
Okay, we are so proud of Makaila, the 16-year-old CEO. She is you know, the CEO of her company, Me and the Bees Lemonade. She's also a, you know, ambassador of her company. She's a social entrepreneur and an author. Shout out to her. Now, this is what Black people are doing, despite the stereotype that they still try to put us under. And these are our children. Thank God. Thank you, God, for, you know, putting to shame these lies about our people. God is blessing us and we moving forward. The only thing I say to our people is come back to our Lord and serve him. You know, thank God for the good things that he's given us. Okay, so I'm going to move on now. For our health and wellness, I just want to tell you, when the sun is out, be sure to get some of this vitamin D. So you remember, we come from a hot climate, a warm continent. I don't like cold weather. I don't. I just don't. And getting that vitamin D, it strengthens your bones and everything. So when it's warm outside, which we don't know when it's going to be, because all the crazy things they're doing to this atmosphere and pretending that they're not, you don't know when it's going to be sunny out. The sun may come out in the middle of the night, so when you can get that vitamin D, because that's something that definitely our people need. Everybody needs vitamin D, but us even more so, melanated people, we need that vitamin D, that sun. It is definitely wonderful. Now, on another note, let's go into the business tips. If you sell products, always add an extra item for the client to try. This is something that I love when people do that, because you all know I like the health products and things like that, the raw African butters and stuff like that. And I love it when they'll send me something else to say, well, thanks for your business, but try this soap here. This is another soap that we have. So always try to get people to know the different products that you sell. Or I mean that you know what I mean, that you have available. All right. So now we're going to move on to today's lesson, which is going to be in the book of Leviticus, and that's the 12th chapter. Now we're talking about the children of Israel as we were moving through the wilderness, and these were the different laws, statutes, and commandments that the Lord was giving us for the first time, of how we're supposed to how our lives are guided and things like that by, the laws and statutes and commandments of the Lord our God. So in Leviticus 12, it says, and the Lord spake to Moses, saying, speak unto the children of Israel, saying, if a woman has conceived seed and born a male child, she shall be unclean 7 days. According to the days of separation for her infirmity shall she be unclean. Meaning, when you have a baby, of course, you pass blood through your body and stuff like that. So you need time to heal when you've lost. And I have to be honest with you all, I'm not a pastor that's going to sugarcoat it and all of that kind of stuff. I'm not a minister like that. I'm a person that I have to be real with you. This is what it's talking about, is that women, when we, have children and stuff like that, blood passes through our body. You need time for your body to heal. So all of this crazy stuff that we get from these cultures that are here, that are all about, oh, your body need to snap back, and you need to be able to, start having sexual relationships with your husband and all of that right away. No, your body needs time to heal. Stop all this foolishness and foolery that they keep telling you. Yeah, well, you got to be sexy again and all of this kind of garbage. Your body needs time to heal because you've lost a lot of blood. All right. And it says, and in the 8th day, the flesh of his foreskin shall be circumcised. Remember, the boys were circumcised due to what happened in Egypt. Remember, they wanted to kill all of our male children, as it seems like is going on today. Okay, because then that stops the race, the culture of people altogether. But the Lord spared Moses in that time, that he wasn't killed. He was thankfully rescued, because he later on became the prophet that helped our people to escape, right? So of course, that, and when the firstborn, especially when the firstborn died as the last plague before we left Egypt, that's why our firstborn, especially the boys, are being circumcised. It's our way of saying that God gave us this child, we're giving this child back to the Lord. All right. And she shall then continue in the blood of her purifying 30 days. She shall touch no hollow thing or come into the sanctuary until the days of her purifying be fulfilled. Right. So she needs that time, which is over a month. She needs that time for her body to come back to what it needs to be physically. I don't mean her shape and all of that crap. I'm talking about her body needs time to heal. All right. And it talks about even if she bears a female child, she, the timing that she'll be unclean was 2 weeks, as in her separation, and she shall continue in the blood of her purifying 66 days. With a female, remember, we're carrying a girl who's also going to be producing life. So you need even, another period of time to recuperate from that, because you're passing blood through you, and you're passing a person that also has the same type of things and going to go through the same type of things, monthly purification and all of that, just like you do. So there's a different timing that you need for that child as well. All right. When your days of purifying are fulfilled for a son or for a daughter, it talks about how you bring a lamb of the first year for offering, and the different things that, they brought at that time. They would bring a lamb, a pigeon, and turtle dove, and those offering meant different things, because Christ had not yet come to die for our sins. So these were the things that we used for sin offering and stuff like that. We don't do that anymore, but we do need time for that purification so that our bodies can heal. Okay, so this is the laws and commandments that the Lord has for us, the birth laws for Israel. Okay, your children are a gift from God. So when you have the children, then you present these children back to him. And this is one of the things you have to do. You have to let yourself heal and everything like that. And then you present the child as an offering. You no longer have to bring a goat and all of that kind of stuff. But it's the same thing. You're bringing that child, like they call christening, that type of thing. You're bringing and you're giving your child as a gift to the Lord, not to kill the child and all of that. Please don't believe that garbage. That's the things that people did in before we lost the land, is our people were following those people that would offer their children to fire and to Molech and all of that kind of stuff, which is a false god. So we don't do that. We offer the child back. We, where the minister has prayer over the child, and we say prayers over the child, that type of thing. That's what that is. They may anoint the child with oil, but not all this foolishness where I've seen some ministers that slap the baby and throw them under the water. No, that's not at all biblical. I wouldn't suggest you have your child go through that type of trauma. Okay, just bring the child to the church, let the minister, pray over, or you could do it in your own home. Your husband is the priest of your home, right? Let him pray over the child and all of that. That's how you offer the child back to the Lord, because the Lord blessed you to be able to have this child. You pray for the child's health, the child's wellness, the child throughout life, that child will dedicate their life to the Lord and, be a holy vessel unto the Lord all the days of his or her life. Simple things, because at the rate we're going, you see the churches basically are closed. Some of them are opening back up, but some of the stuff that's going on in these churches, you better know God for yourself so that you can have, service and stuff like that in your own home, and pray and ask God for, direction on how to, be in your home, how to do the different, what do you call it? The things that you do as far as your prayers, the feasts. There are different feasts that we have, the feast of the Lord, which have nothing to do with these feasts that they have, because these things that they have here, like Christmas and all that kind of stuff, all that stuff is about money. I'm not talking about those. I'm talking about the biblical feasts that we're supposed to be acknowledging, the Lord's Supper, which is, the Passover feast and all of that kind of stuff. Those are biblical feasts. All this other stuff that these people do here, that has nothing to do with God. It really doesn't. When you look into the origins of that stuff, it's all about money or worship, sacrificial worship to idol gods. And that's not what we're supposed to be doing. So I just wanted to bring that out to you as far as the birth laws for Israelites, because listen, the people that are here, basically Black and brown people, a lot of us are right there from that Israelite heritage. Don't let nobody fool you. That's why they keep changing our name every couple of years. Oh, okay, well, we're going to call them Black. We're going to call them coloreds. We're going to call them this. We're going to call them that. God called us the children of Israel, and that's who we are. Okay. We have a long journey of, having been through different slaveries and things like that. Once we got here, then they whitewashed our history. This is why they didn't want us to know who we were, because even when we hid in the different regions and areas of Africa, we were called, different names and things like that, like the Igbo tribe and stuff. Ibu means Hebrew. Okay. And then when we got over to the islands and stuff like that, and we got over here to America, they call us African Americans. Yes, we're from the continent of Africa, but we're actually the children of Israel. Okay. If you read who Abraham was a Chaldean. Chaldeans were Black people. We have the Eve gene. Okay. We were the original people on the earth. All the other nations and stuff like that come from us, but we are the children of Israel, and they know it. This is why we have such pushback and problems, because they know it. They know that we're a strong people that God blessed, and they know that our time of captivity is ending and that Christ will return and lead us back into the land that we once lost. So make no doubts about it. We are a great people. We are a blessed people. Yes, we're mixed in with other cultures now because we were scattered to the four corners of the earth because our ancestors began to follow other nations, and that got us in trouble listening to their craziness, because those weren't the things that we were supposed to do. All these other nations, all the nations, God put angels over to watch out for them, but they began to worship the angels and not God. We were the only nation of people that God didn't place anybody over except him. We are the chosen people. We are the people that were supposed to bring forth the laws and commandments, and eventually we will be the ones to turn the nations back to God. All right. So all of this craziness you see going on is just amping up for that time when Christ returns. All right. So it was lovely. Thank you all for tuning into the show. Again, you can catch me on YouTube or Facebook at the Crystal Jones TV show, Instagram, and you could email me, thecrystaljoneshow@gmail.com. Like I said, Facebook and YouTube on the Crystal Jones TV show. My show is moving now to a new channel, which is 951 or 2137. It'll be seen on Saturdays from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Okay, so you could watch it on those channels, or you could wait for the upload on my sites. All right, until then, God bless you. God keep you is my prayer, and always you stay balanced.
Stop using church intimidation, control and manipulation. Jezebel and all them spirits fall back, not trying to hear it. Go with Jesus, walk in peace. On your pew can sit that beast that we're fighting in the world. I'm that JC Supergirl, Jesus Christ, belt of truth, arm of God, I'm slaying you. Power of the word, two-edged sword. MC Heaven rocks for her Lord. Thought they crept in unaware, didn't see the gatekeeper standing right there. Not getting down with your tactics, undoctrinal practice.